I mean, I was told by my film professor, there are films and there are movies. And sometimes you've got to know what you're walking into.
Yeah. See, but I come from a time when movies were films.
Okay, September has come and gone a pretty long time ago. There's definitely been some delays for this episode. There's been the hurricane that ripped through Florida, and also we did Joker, and also the last episode, which was very fun, a cool little horror episode. I kind of forgot about this whole September recap, but September was still a very big month for me. Still on that path for 365 movies in one single year, which I've never done before. This year, we're still behind a teeny bit, but I'm still making some pretty decent pace. I'll have to just try hard over the weekends, but still, I can still squeeze in 365 movies in this year if I'm lucky and if I'm very dedicated. It'd take like a 3-1 comeback from LeBron James at the finals for me to get to this goal, but, let's hope I do it. Also, before we get started, a quick couple things to plug here. If you're listening to this show, you can listen to the show anywhere you find your podcasts, on YouTube Music, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and also the other cool stuff out there like Amazon Music and also iHeartRadio. We're on all of those down there, so you can listen to the show anywhere you want to. Also, if you want to follow along here for the month of September, I'll have my letterbox down there below. I'm just reading from that here in front of my computer screen, so that makes it easier for you. You just want to follow along, have a little bit of a hard copy. It's right there for you. Also, if you want to support the hurricane cause, that'll be down there below also in the show notes. You're not obligated to do so at all, but if you want to and you want to know where you can do it, I'll leave that down there for you so you can know where to do it. And with all that blabbering out of the way, I watched about 31 films in the month of September, and it was a pretty fun month. A lot of great bangers out there, and also some that weren't that great and ruined my entire year, but I'll talk about them when I get to them. Starting off on September 1st, I rewatched Marcel, the Shell with Shoes On. This might be a new comfort film for me. This is A24, not by any means the best A24 film. This may be like top 20, but still the vibes are immaculate, the score is immaculate, and really the overall feeling I get from this film is nice and warm and fuzzy and cozy, so I love it. Marcel, the Show with Shoes On is a big thumbs up, big recommendation. It's one of the only A24 family films, if not the only A24 family film, so it's definitely one of the better ones out there in this whole filmography, and I love it. Then on the 3rd of September, I Saw the TV Glow. This was really my most anticipated movie to watch so far this entire month. And this movie is very weird. I can't say it all in this one little blurb, but still, this movie is very weird. It is PG-13, but it feels like it's rated R, or really NC-17. The movie feels like a film I shouldn't be watching. It feels like a film I've never even seen before, which is, obvious, yeah, sure, but it feels so unique to anything else I've seen in cinema. And it's so weird, it's so odd, but it didn't really work for me. I see why you love it. I saw when this film first came out, it got so much love and praise, but I'm not a part of that crowd, sadly, but maybe after a rewatch, I will be. Then on September the 5th, I watched Where the Wild Things Are. This was supposed to have its own episode, but never exactly got around to it. We'll do that in November/December, but for now, this film is really good. It's really great. It really does touch me in a certain way. The movie itself is very broad in its theme, which is very cool, and also something that I have to talk about in its own episode because it's so big. And another film with the same vibe here of growing up, like Where the Wild Things Are. I rewatched The Boy and the Heron. Like I said, from my review for it last year and also my 2023 recap I did back in January. This movie's incredible. I love it so much. I want to watch it every day for the rest of my life. It's boring, it's slow, I get it. It's more intimate than other Ghibli films, but still this movie is absolutely breathtaking and incredible. Then on the 8th, I rewatched When Harry Met Sally. When Harry Met Sally, it's a banger, it's perfect. What can I say about it? It's absolutely slapping. And then on that same day, on September the 8th, I watched The Forge, which is a Christian film. Christian films usually suck. I'm not trying to blast on the entire community of Christianity, but the movies for Christians really do suck, and they are, for the most part, really bad. I've seen a lot of them, and most of the time, they're really trash. The only good Christian films, I'll say, are Bruce Almighty, Evan Almighty, the one with Moses from DreamWorks, and also there's Saving Private Ryan. No, that's not the one. Hacksaw Ridge with Andrew Garfield is technically a Christian film, but we didn't really classify it as one, but still, that's one of the better ones out there. The Forge is half a star. It may be 0 stars out of 5. It's trash. It's terrible. Don't watch it. After The Forge was so bad, I had to go out there and watch Kramer vs. Kramer. This movie is breathtaking. This was a very beautiful palate cleanser. It was incredible. I love this film so much. This movie really did put Dustin Hoffman on my Mount Rushmore. He's such a good actor. I've been watching a lot of his films this year, from The Graduate to the Kung Fu Panda trilogy. I know that's a weird one, but still, he's good in really everything he touches. The films sometimes can be really bad, like Megalopolis, which I'll talk about in a second here, but I can always rely on Dustin Hoffman to be just an absolute legend, which he is. And then on the next watch of September, I rewatched a film because I didn't exactly want to, but The Lion King, after hearing about James Earl Jones dying, an absolute GOAT, an absolute incredible voice actor, one who inspires me every single day. After he passed away, I had to throw on The Lion King. And this one, like I always say, it slaps, it's perfect, it's one of my favorite films of all time. And James Earl Jones, rest in peace, absolute GOAT, absolute legend. Then on the 10th, I had to go into another A24 film. This one I've had on my watch list for a long time now, mainly because of Steven Yeun. Steven Yeun is really one of the best actors of generation, and this movie is weird. It's a Thanksgiving film, which is very fun and very cool, but the movie itself isn't that good. I'll say that it does feel more like a stage play, which is fun. The cinematography is very good. If you're studying film or want to learn more about films and movies, and you want to just see how far cinematography can really go, then watch The Humans. The Humans takes place in a very small, shitty studio apartment in New York, and it's filmed so very cool to where nothing ever feels contained, or if it does feel contained and boring, it's done very brilliantly. I have to say this movie might be one of the best shot films of the entire decade so far. And yes, I understand Dune Part 2, Oppenheimer, and all these incredible films exist, but The Humans, for being this kind of movie, shot in this setting, and still finding a way to be unique and being so incredibly creative, makes it one of the most impressive films, cinematography-wise, of the entire decade easily. And as for the film itself, like I said, it's not the best in the world. It's kind of cool, has some cool concepts, but really the execution isn't all there. And then on the 11th and 13th of November, I watched Robot Dreams. I already did a full, almost 40-minute review on that movie. Absolutely brilliant, incredible. Really just made me just really speechless at the end of the film. Had to watch it twice, and I did here. But like I said, Robot Dreams, if you didn't listen to the full review that I did, Robot Dreams is incredible. It's like Past Lives, La La Land, and Zootopia all in one movie, which is just really breathtaking and brilliant, and also very tragic, as you would know if you see any of those movies. So please go see this film. I don't think it's streaming anywhere, but you can find it over on maybe Apple TV to rent there. It's definitely worth the money. And then on the 14th, I watched Dead Poet Society. Really, don't need to say anything here at all. Dead Poet Society is brilliant. It's breathtaking. Robin Williams is incredible. Ethan Hawke, even at a young age, is also incredible and brilliant as well. This movie is awesome. It's great. I don't need to say much about it. It's a classic. Then on the 15th, I watched Barbarian. Came out in 2022. I've never seen this movie before, and I heard a lot of buzz about it going into it. So, had to watch it, and Barbarian is very cool and crazy and a very fun horror. I don't watch a lot of horror films, so this is a really rare one for me, and it's very cool. It's fun. I like it. I love it. It's great. And the 16th, I watched Minari. Minari at this point is like an all-time favorite movie for me, and A24 is definitely at least top 10 for A24 films for sure. I saw this movie back last year for the first time. This year, I saw it again, loved it even more, bought it on Blu-ray, watched it again in September, and it still holds up. It's still incredible. Score is great, cinematography is great, the story is awesome as well, and also just the incredible acting all around by everyone in the entire movie makes it a top 10 for the entire year, entire decade. Sorry, my fault. Forever. So far, definitely. And then on the 17th, it's not a month for me if I don't rewatch Over the Hedge. Over the Hedge for I think the 6th or 7th time here. I don't even remember this point. And yep, Over the Hedge, same as I always say, it's great, it's awesome, I love it, and I'll never get enough of it. Then on the 18th, I rewatched Whiplash. This is this film's 10th anniversary this year, which is very cool. Whiplash, Justin Hurwitz, and also Damien Chazelle, enough said, still holds up, absolute masterpiece, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. Alright, and on the 21st, I watched a couple films here. I watched The Watchers, which came out this year, from Ashana Night Shyamalan, M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. And this one's very cool. I mean, the Shyamalan name is so grand and so broad at this point to where, yes, there were some high expectations for the movie. Was the movie that good? No, it is her directorial debut. I do respect it. I do definitely appreciate it. But is it definitely one of the best of the entire year? Respectfully, no. Can she get better from this movie? Absolutely, and I'll be here for it. And still, the M. Night Shyamalan and family name is still so great that I don't even really care. Then also on the 21st, I watched Transformers 1. Once again, had its own review, so not much needs to be said about this one. And for All Mankind on the 22nd here, one of my favorite documentaries of all time, For All Mankind, also in the Criterion Collection. This one's great. It's incredible. Very simple. It's just about like astronauts going up into space, telling stories about space, which is very fun and very cool, very intriguing as well. I love it. I don't watch a lot of documentary movies. I know there's Hoop Dreams out there. Hoop Dreams, I heard, is great, but the one that I've seen so far that is really good is For All Mankind. Definitely go watch it. And the film that I tell you not to watch for sure is Grave with the Fireflies. Not because it's bad. Grave with the Fireflies is definitely one of the best film movies I've ever seen before in my entire life. But Grave with the Fireflies is also one of the most tragic films I've seen ever. Not just tragic movies, but books, shows, TVs, whatever. Grave with the Fireflies is heartbreaking, incredibly heartbreaking. I don't think I cried, but I definitely could have. This one is really going to tear you apart if you're very sensitive. And really, I wouldn't recommend it if you're just really going to cry. But if you want to watch it, go at your own risk. All right, and closing out the month here, it was pretty fun. Watched a couple short films that are really small, so you can go see my letterbox. They're there. They're really fun, cool little short films. But on the 25th, I watched Joker, which I did its own episode on already. Brilliant film. I love it incredibly. Then I watched Sixth Sense, M. Night Shyamalan. And then also that same day, I watched Signs, M. Night Shyamalan. M. Night Shyamalan is great. Sixth Sense is fun and incredible and so cool. And Signs is really tragic. It almost made me cry. Actually, no, it did make me cry. I definitely don't regret it. It's beautiful. It's incredible. I love Signs so much. Then the 27th, day after that, I watched Megalopolis. I didn't do a review for Megalopolis, on here at least. I did a review over on TikTok, got a very massive amount of views on there. And Megalopolis is so cool. It's great. I think that it definitely has potential, but in reality, it sucks. It's not good. I gave it 6 out of 10, so not terrible, but still, Megalopolis had very high hopes. The movie is not good. Then that same day, I came home from Megalopolis very upset, but still, I threw on another movie. I threw on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is like horror film 101. Came out in 1974. It's a really good one, a banger movie. Definitely not, I guess, one of my personal favorite horror films, but still, it's an elder. You gotta respect the GOATs and the OGs, and definitely I do. Then a couple of days later, I had to take a little bit of a palate cleanser. It was a very rough weekend for me. I mean, Megalopolis, like I said before, Megalopolis, oh my gosh, it was actually trash. And then I had to go home and just watch something else, a little bit more of a palate cleanser again here with Flipped. Flipped from Rod Reiner is definitely one of my favorite romances of all time. Flipped is just really everything. It's my entire life. I love this film so much. A great romance, very cheesy and corny, not that good, but still, for me, it's 10 out of 10, even though it's actually 4 out of 5. Then that same day, I had to watch another M. Night Shyamalan film, really tapped through his entire filmography this year, and I watched Split from M. Night Shyamalan. This one definitely maybe his biggest movie, at least for the younger kids like myself. And Split's very cool. It's not Signs, but still, Split is very fun. I gotta watch Glass now, which is like Glass is the big, kind of converging film for Unbreakable, Split, and then Glass is the final entry into that whole trilogy thing they did there, which I heard is trash, but still, I'll go out there and watch it. Then I watched on the 30th, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, once again, enough said. It's a classic, it's a banger. Gave it 9 out of 10. I could watch it every day for the rest of my life, and I wouldn't really care. Then, on the 30th, the last day of the month, I watched Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. This film, mwah, chef's kiss. It's great, it's perfect, I love it. This is really the one best films I've ever seen in my entire life. I love this thing so much. I want to watch it again already. It's great, it's a banger. There's actually a new Wallace and Gromit film coming out very soon, like this year. I didn't know about that at all. No one told me about it, but I'll still be there for it, and I'll maybe have a good time, I hope. Alright, and with Wallace and Gromit, that's the entire month of September. A very fun month, very cool. In total, 31 films. We're still behind a little bit, but still, I'm on, like I said, very fun track so far for 365. I'm almost there, kind of. Then as for October, we're almost done with it actually right now, but still, October has been better, I'd say, in terms of quality. I mean, like I said, Megalopolis has been bad. Also, there was Joker 2, so that was also bad. But still, September has been bad, but still October has been fun. I watched Over the Hedge again, which is cool, and a bunch of other stuff. I'll talk about it when I get over to it as we go into November. I'll do that episode. Also, November, we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. We're doing that one movie that I said before earlier, Where the Wild Things Are, is going to happen. We're doing Arcane, finally. That's going to be very cool. We're going to be doing It Chapter 1 very, very soon here. And maybe another horror film if I feel like it, if I'm in the mood for it. I'll do 2 horror films for the price of 1 for you. And before we go, obviously, make sure you have on post notifications. If you're listening anywhere, you can turn on notifications to know when we drop. I can be kind of flamboyant with the schedule sometimes. I get kind of wrapped up with other things. But still, if you're on anywhere, you can turn on the notification button there thing, which is very cool. Also, we're on everywhere, like Instagram and also TikTok and Twitter. I'm not calling it X, I'm calling it Twitter. That's what it's called. It's very fun and cool. I'm there sometimes saying bad jokes that no one laughs to. And like I said a second ago, stay tuned for It Chapter 1 and also Arcane and a bunch of other fun stuff in November and December. As the year comes to a close, I can maybe lock in to make this show a little bit better for you. I hope so. And also, you can leave a review for the show. It keeps the lights on, it keeps the fridge full. Reviews leave us in open business, which is very fun. So please, leave us 5 stars, I beg of you, or else I'm going to be unemployed. But until then, until my fateful day of unemployment from the show, stay swagged out, stay cool, watch more films like every single day, and as always, I'm your host Logan, and I'll see you boys in the movies.